It's gone by pretty quick. I don't think it's sunk in. Yeah, really exciting. It just doesn't seem real.
So now that we've seen Corey Connors wins on the PGA Tour, Brooke Henderson has won a lot on the LPGA Tour, you're obviously seeing the benefits of that young pro squad. But you have a new endeavor that you've started, sort of going back to the junior ranks. Last year you launched an initiative out of Victoria, BC. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so interestingly enough, we were probably one of the first countries to create this concept of a national team program with full-time coaching and sports science support to support the players. And we saw countries start to emulate that. England, Ireland, Spain, Sweden. And we need to continue to try to stay ahead of the game. And our biggest challenge is the size of our country. So what we did was we identified the top 10 junior players. We said, okay, where in Canada could we play golf close to 12 months a year? So that's in Victoria at Bear Mountain Resorts. And we partnered with Bear Mountain. We've got our national team training center at Bear Mountain. So we have world-class facilities. We centralized our coaches there. So starting on February 1st of each year, we take those 10 best players. They go to school there for half a day. They train with the best coaches in the country at the best facilities, and they'll do that right through to the middle of June. So we get about 5.5 months with those players full-time every day. So we increased our contact time with those players by about 300%. So we really hope that that's going to pay some big dividends for the future of golf in Canada. Also within 15 minutes of the facility is the Canadian Sport Institute Pacific. So that's where they have centralized Rugby Canada, Triathlon Canada, athletics. So we have some of the top athletes in the world, which is fantastic for our athletes to get that access to and visibility to and see what the intensity is like of their training. So that's a really nice spin-off and something that we don't traditionally think about for golf. We've got support from the federal government, Sport Canada, the Canadian Olympic Committee, and there's dollars tied to this. So it is a performance program, and you have to qualify based on your performance. It's a challenge, trying to decide who you're going to put the resources into. So there's no question we look at results from key events, whether it be the Canadian Championships or provincial championships. We'll look at those closely. We'll look at some of what we call our key metrics. So what's their ball speed like and their club speed, and those are key things that need to exist. So we call those high performance characteristics. So that goes into selection. In terms of a day in the life, they get up first thing in the morning. Some days they'll go to the Sport Institute and they have a physical workout. Then they go to school. They have 4 hours of school. They're enrolled in a Belmont High School, which is right in Victoria. We have an academic supervisor that works with each individual player to make sure they're on task for their academic requirements. Then they'll come back to Bear Mountain, and the coaches have a training environment which could consist of time on the range or time in the course, which is fantastic. They go into a classroom setting, can talk about strategy and tactics, and then they go back and they have billets that they room with, which is great. It gives a little bit of a home environment for the athletes. So it's really a full day for them, and I think the engagement of the players is outstanding.
So we now know why Canadians are successful at the top level of the sport, and it looks like we have every reason to believe the pipeline will remain full. So thanks, Jeff, and for Postmedia, I'm John McCarthy.